your boy Kachi coming to you live.
Alright guys, what's going on, man? Welcome back again. It's King Kachi back at you with another video, and this is gonna be me covering the Teralyst, the Hydrolyst, the Gantulyst. Hydrolyst is the last one that you go up against, but as far as within this video, I just kind of constrained it a little bit because you've taken on all three of these Eidolons. Teralyst, which is the weakest, Gantulyst is like the medium tier, and the Hydrolyst is the top tier, the last one. Teralyst is still simple, just as how he always been. Go through his little phases, take out 4 of his limbs, the end. But the next fight, though, it's kind of, well, how I like to describe the Gantulyst is this. He still has this, he has somewhat the same attacks as the Teralyst, but he has other things that is alongside of him. He likes to throw a whole bunch of stuff and whatnot at you. Every time that he stomps, there's like a shockwave, which will do some form of damage to you. As far as if you look at your shields, you will see that your shields will take some form of damage. So again, you have to watch out for that. He still has the stomp. He'll still shoot stuff around the sky. He has his swipe. All kinds of stuff that is similar to the Teralyst. And for what I've gathered throughout this fight is that I practically came to the conclusion is that it's more of like an endurance thing than anything else. Because we were going really good in this fight. I'm not talking about the Teralyst. I'm just talking about all the way through to the end where we went to the Hydrolyst. And the thing that I noticed is that it's more of an endurance thing than anything else, because if you have good stable connection, you will last the whole fight. If you don't, however, well, you will see what happened to one of these guys right here. We were going so well, and I'm like, yo, we could get 3 arcanes here, because this is like my 3rd attempt trying to find people with good connection or as far as a stable team. And the thing about it is that when you don't have a stable team with synergy and whatnot, the fight can last much more longer than it needed to be, because as we all know, the night cycle is 50 minutes, wherein the day cycle is like at least an hour and 30. So again, you're really constrained on time. And the fastest I was able to do this, which was yesterday, is that we were able to do 7 Eidolons in a single night cycle. And man, I missed the squad that I had yesterday, because just this fight alone just reminded me as to how when you have a solid team with synergy that has everything working, knows how to do it, all that stuff, man, you just want to keep rolling with them time and time again. Luckily for me, some of them were on my friend list, so I could hit them up or whatever, but it's like, you know, they weren't on, so I was like, you know what, let me see if I could get something out of this cycle before it refreshes. So again, it was going good. The problem is that at the end, it was like, man, when you lose one of your guys by like connection or bugged or whatever it is, the fight will be longer, and the longer the fight is, you're more time constrained as to when the Teralyst, or even if it's the Gantulyst, because some people struggle with the Gantulyst and whatnot. The Hydrolyst is the last phase. Some people may take longer with that. But once Uncle says sunrise nears, that's technically it. Usually when he says sunrise nears, you can still fight the Eidolons and whatnot before the sun actually rises. But this time around, pretty much based on the update, when he says sunrise nears, the Eidolon, while he's fighting you, he will literally turn around and enter his stage where he's going in the water. And it's like, man, if the guy didn't lag out or bugged out or whatever, I believe we could have taken him down. But once we got to the Gantulyst, I believe like in the middle stage, we kind of slowed down a bit. I don't know if it's because he was actually lagging or if he was actually bugged or whatnot, but it seems like the pace was slowed down. And I'm like, man, we actually had it. 2 out of 3 arcanes for this is actually not bad. Some people like keep going at the Teralyst over and over, so you could keep getting arcanes at a consistent rate. So you could probably take them out in less than 5 minutes when a full squad go right, leave, come back in, rinse and repeat. But some people want to go all the way because, again, Gantulyst and Hydrolyst give you more arcanes, but the better ones and whatnot. So it's like, okay, keep going in, keep going in, keep going in. But it's like, for what I've seen and what I've gathered, it's like, yo, this thing is more of an endurance thing. Because for one, I've seen people fully die out, like use up all the revives and whatnot. Of course, you'll see people revive and whatnot, but based on how the fight is and how time constrained it is, it's like when you go down, it's like, just use your revive, get back up, keep doing what you're doing. Because again, you want to go through these fights as fast as possible so you could get multiple arcanes within one night cycle. So it's like, by the time people reach the Gantulyst, it's like they already have like a revive or 2, all this kind of thing. So it's like, you gotta keep on your P's and Q's when it comes to when you get to the Gantulyst and then when you get to the Hydrolyst. Because as you can see right here, pretty much on the fight with the Gantulyst, you're fighting a number of things. His attacks, his projectiles, he also just keeps spawning a whole bunch of magnetic procs all around the place. And the Hydrolyst is 10 times worse, because not only does the Hydrolyst does the same thing, but as far as he has like lightning effect, you'll see like little green orbs of lightning on the ground. If you're in the orb, you get hit with electricity. There's a whole bunch of stuff going around as far as taking damage. And once you see this green stuff on the ground, it's kind of like Oberon's hallowed ground, when you just put it down and if enemies step on it, they get hit with radiation. You don't get hit with no radiation, but you take a substantial amount of damage. And I'll be telling people like, yo, when you see that stuff on the ground, get away. Get away from it. Run as fast as you can away from it, because it zaps your health so damn fast. So as you can see right here, you know, the Gantulyst has already been taken out. Like I said, I practically cut up the video for time constraints. But once we got through that, it was like, all right, let's go get with the Hydrolyst and whatnot. It was this section right here where I was too busy focusing on taking him. But here's the thing, at the same time, you're also dealing with the lightning effect, his magnetic procs, all kinds of shit that he will launch at you and attack you. He will still do the same animations, same attacks like the Teralyst and the Gantulyst, where he'll stomp the ground, the side sweep, the pound on the ground, and the waves start coming at you and whatnot, and it comes back. He does the same thing, but he has extra stuff that comes along with them. And it's like, you're fighting at least 6 things at once when it comes to the Hydrolyst, or probably 5 at the very least. So it's like, you gotta be all over, I won't say all over the place, but it's like, you gotta keep moving, you gotta keep rolling. As you can see, I'm rolling into the water, because again, there's so much stuff being launched at the same time. So you gotta be on your parkour, you gotta keep moving. I believe there was some part right here, I believe, that I had to revive the dude. Because again, I noticed, I was like, oh crap, one of the dudes just ended up leaving or lagging or whatever the case may be. So I was like, yo, I gotta revive them. That's what it was like. Yo, I was like, damn, these dudes are down. It's like, yo, this dude is down, this dude is down. I'm the only one keep bobbing and weaving, just keep moving and moving. So it's like, man, I gotta, you know, as I was trying to, I gotta do something. But as far as with this fight, it's doable. But at the same time, it's like, man, you're doing a lot of things at the same time. But if you have that squad, that synergy, knows what to do and all that stuff. We had it, but one of our guys left. Our pace slowed down a bit. And it was like, hey, the dude was bugged. He was lagging, all that stuff. And this is why I say it's more of an endurance thing than anything else. Because if you have a stable connection, you could go the whole fight. But if your connection is bouncy, all kinds of weird shit and whatnot, you could lag out and you will lose the arcanes that actually drop. Now let's say, just for the sake of this video, let's say we actually took out this Hydrolyst, because I'm just going to tell you right now, he ended up leaving and we actually failed the bounty. Because for one, once the Hydrolyst leaves, or if people get to the Gantulyst and they can't take it out in time and he decides to go back in the water, you failed the bounty, but you still keep the arcanes that actually drop. So you can actually leave, see what you got as far as with those arcanes. But as far as with this fight, it was like, man, we had a realistic chance. We actually had a shot if one of the guys did not end up, lagging and whatnot. Who knows? Because I picked up a Arcane Energize yesterday along with an Aegis, and I was like, yo, we got something here. So I was like, let's keep going with this. So I'm like, as far as with these fights, I actually like the Gantulyst and the Hydrolyst as far as with them coming into the game. The only difference between these two opposed to the Teralyst is that they have extra 2 parts. Because normally you have 2 knees on their shoulders, but they also have 2 extra parts behind them. If you could see just by looking at the Hydrolyst, he has 2 more extra pieces that you have to shoot. They're actually right above the 2 shoulders that you can see from the Hydrolyst. They're like right there. I would rather take those 2 parts out first, because for some reason the hit box for those is inconsistent. Sometimes you can hit it, sometimes you can't, and there'll be times that you could just, depending on the team you have, you can one-shot that thing with Chroma. Because again, you can still do it with Chroma. You just need help from Rhino based on his roar ability. So you can still one-shot with Chroma. You just need external assistance. But as far as with this fight, it was like, damn, we actually had a shot. But as you can see, I was still pushing. I was still doing what I can. The problem is, as you can see, based on the game, some of the guys were behind. And I was like, it seemed like they were giving up before the whole fight was actually officially done. And I was like, I'm not done with this. Because we still had a shot. I still believe we had a shot if we were still doing our thing. The problem is, as you can see based on the map, one guy was still with me while the other guy is so far back. So it's like, he gave up while we're still fighting this Hydrolyst. And I'm like, damn. I was like, yo, damn. You gave up so fast. But I was like, once that dude lagged and whatnot, that was actually the whole bounty. That was technically it right there. We was not going to get past this, but I just wanted to see how far we could actually take it. But it was like, it was not to be. But there's going to be more runs like this. But I don't want runs like this where guys will lag out based on connection. And it was like, yo, the possibility of Energize, Barrier, something like that. Because you don't know. Because once they drop the stuff, it's like, oh, it's a question mark. So you don't know what it is until you leave. And that's actually what happened yesterday, picking up Energize from this dude and whatnot. I was like, yeah, now I can do something with this. Let's keep taking out Hydrolyst, and you never know. You never know. So, as you can see right there, as you can see, sunrise nears. Now, you see, while we were fighting, he ends up turning around. So, it's like, as you can see, I was like, damn, I'm just rolling, I'm sliding. I was like, yo, get back here and all that stuff. Next thing you know, he goes in the water and that's it. See, I'm rolling around with Chrome. I was like, no. But see, the guy to my left, now he decides to run up. I'm like, it's already done. It's already too late. He's already about to go in the water. And you can see the ray of light from the water comes up and there he goes. So that's practically it right there. I did this last night like crazy. I took out 7 Eidolons in one night cycle. Got all the goods. So it's doable. You could take out 7 Eidolons. So it's doable.